All right there. Hey guys, welcome to Get Going Fast. We're on our weekly review and flagship thing. We're just going to, as usual, make sure that we are actually streaming, because I am certainly not a pro when it comes to this kind of stuff. Looks like we are. Bop, bop, bop. There's that over there. Let's get this all set up. Oh man. Once again, I should have had this set up. But yeah, it looks like we're doing good. Hey, look at that handsome fella. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. So let's set up a few more things. We'll wait for you guys to pop in. See if there's anyone over here in the chat already. Doesn't look like there's anybody there yet. We'll give it just a minute. It is a holiday. So today is Memorial Day. One of my favorite holidays of all time. We go out to the family grave sites and clean those up. That's one of my favorite memories of being a kid. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to do that for a while because whatnot. But, out of state and all that. But such a great holiday. Today is Memorial Day. We were supposed to go out. It's a great American holiday, This is the day you barbecue. You get some burgers, some fries. You put some Doors music on, You listen to some classic rock and roll. That's Memorial Day. Looks like Ash Member is here. Yo, what's up? She says sub, homie. So I'm all like, yo, what's up? Homie, back at you or something. I almost called you homely. You're not homely. Yo, live long and prosper for most certain. Okay. So Ash, if you were any Star Trek species, which would it be? Would it be Vulcan? I think I would probably be Betazoid, or not Betazoid. What's the Deep Space Nine? I'd be Bajoran probably. 9-layer Nige has popped in. 9, what would be your Star Trek species if you were a Star Trek person? Dude, I wonder if there's anyone out there be like, I'd be Ferengi. Okay. Looks like we're getting ready to go. Nose is itching again, which is always a sign that I'm about to kiss a fool. So, all right. Well, good, happy Memorial Day, as I said. Hope you're getting your barbecue on. We're going to be barbecuing here in just a little bit, which is great. What's not so great is that I'm having people over. My backyard is trashed because I got dogs, and dogs trash. So I was out there today. I picked up a bra that was in the back. I picked up a dish pan. I picked up an old shoe. I think there was a spatula. And that's just like, and then dogs. Anyway, so when we're done here, we're going to be raging out to there. But I'm here for you today because we need to get into this. All right, well, let's go over our weekly review real quick. We'll go over what we talked about. Big week, a lot of good stuff going on. Let's see, we started out with the Ash Ember says, on a pause, she says as her Star Trek speech, she'd be the Q, So, yeah, well, they're all powerful for most certain. Q is pretty awesome. All right. Of course, he changes by Voyager. He's kind of jerk in Next Generation, and then by Voyager, he's all googly-eyed for Janeway and all that good stuff. So, what is it? The greatest Q scene is, I don't know the greatest, but great one. He's with Cisco, and he's taunting him, and Cisco finally just punches him in the nose. And Q goes, Picard never hit me. And Cisco goes, I'm not Picard. And I think Q goes, yeah, you're a lot more fun. So 9-layer Nice says he would be the Berg. He said they're similar to the Borg, but they take over all the burger chains. Oh, that's too funny. All right. All right, yeah, and I'd probably be Bajoran just because that stupid artsy kind of side, and they seem to like to party, so There they go. All right, well, let's get on with this. So we did our weekly flagship. There was a picture of General Meow there. We were doing our A-Step music video. So nobody sent me, nobody sent me a music. Nobody sent me a music video. So I'm just going to assume that you guys got on this on your own. All good. Wait, Nigel says he just posted a new video on the Discord. Neville, let's click over to here and see what he's talking about. Video generation. He did. My God, he did post something. So let's go ahead and we'll put this down. Nigel's winning. If there's ever an award here for actually posting this stuff, Nigel is, or nine, yeah, Nigel. I'm calling you Nigel. I'm going to start calling you Nigel for now. It's just easier. He's certainly going to be in the running. He's the only one that posts stuff. So let's go ahead. This is what he's got going. Wow. Nigel, 9L is now called Nigel, by the way. Nigel, good job. Did you make that with A-Step? Because if you did, you win. And the winning is that you get to go buy yourself a candy bar and say it's from me. Go, good job. That was awesome. That's fair. What did you make the video in? I would like to know. We want to know. Yeah, that was great. Okay. Yeah, so Point just popped in. Hey, Point. That was actually 9Layer, who is now forever known as Nigel, posted that. So that was him. He wins the weekly thing. I'm going to start thinking of rewards for people that win this stuff. So you guys are going to want to send in your stuff because the rewards are going to be off the charts. But that could mean anywhere. Off the chart good, off the chart bad. So you never know. That's the thing. All right. So good job, 9L, Mr. Nigel, that you did a great job with that. All right. Let's scoot on here. This is a big thing. FramePack Studio is coming out with stuff every week. So I've been in communication with the developer, not of FramePack the model. The FramePack model itself is a guy named Elias Veal. Okay, so I don't know anything about Elias Veal, but it just must be like a Telosian, right? You know, because he also is the one that made SD Forge, and he's the one that made Focus. So obviously incredible smart guy. I assume that he looks like this. I'm assuming that's Elias Veal's picture. So, but Colin Herbs has taken it, and then he, of course, has... he's like the Roy Kroc of McDonald's, right? Like the McDonald's burger's made, and then Roy Kroc takes it and turns it into the chain. And that's what Colin Herbs has been doing with FramePack Studio. So he is working on updates every week. So this is really cool. I want you to look me in the eyes as I tell you this. I will be getting updates. I will be getting sneak peeks every week into FramePack Studio. So that means that if you're paying attention, you will get to know the insights before anyone else, and I will be releasing the new updates same day, same hour perhaps, same moment as it is released. So him and I are actually working together with this, so that's really kind of exciting. I'm excited to see where FramePack Studio goes. So keep your eye on that. I'm going to assume that this is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and better and better because he's working on it all the time. So every week, and in fact, this Saturday he's got, I think next Saturday he's got, yeah, this coming Saturday he has another major update coming. So, okay, so Google LLM Notebook for Android and iOS. So Google LLM Network is pretty cool. That is actually the one that I use for this. when we do our AI brews weekly, I use Google LLM Notebook. Real easy. You just go Google LLM Notebook, pops you over to YAR, and then try it. And then you just create new. It's really easy. You just create a new, you throw in your source. It could be a document if you want. I do pasted text, but it could be whatever you want. I put it in there. I add some later it'll ask you for context. So I always say like, welcome everyone to Get Going Fast, the place where we get into this exciting hobby AI in a quick and efficient manner in which you might actually learn something. And then I say, and then be sure to give creds to AI Brews. And then it makes the podcast. So that's Google LLM Notebook. And so now it is on your Android and iOS. Okay. So that is pretty exciting. That's a free software. So I have always been a Google file since the early 2000s. Love everything Google. I hate their politics. They got into bad politics in the last 6, 7, 8 years or so. And I moved away from Google. So I am not as heart-stricken with Google as I used to be. I don't trust them like I don't trust any big organization any longer. I used to trust them a lot. But at the end of the day, you can't beat Google's software. It's just freaking awesome. Although you can beat their LLM. Their large language model sucks. Gemini or whatever. Yeah. So, but they're building tools, and so LLM is another good one. Okay, so you can now search Google by chatbot. That's pretty exciting. I haven't done a ton with this, but you know, just like anything else here, you can click down here on your AI mode and then be like, you know, talk to it like you would your normal LLM. So find me the best picture of Janeway with Q. A picture of Janeway with the Q. And whatever. So it's going to go off there and search your sites and pull it all together just like anything else. Okay. So here it says image retrieval display beyond the capabilities of the AI tool. So it's kind of stupid, but whatever. So you can search other stuff though. You know, you can use more intuitive. The days, listen, cry a tear, take that tear, save it in a little jar. The days of Google Foo are coming to an end. The days of optimized keywords to get the correct thing. We became good at it. We were like senseis. We were samurais. But now it's moved on. We're into LLM, so we get to talk like normal people again. So that's, you know, plus. All right. Notebook LLM is adding video presentation. So going back to Notebook LLM, that's cool. So it's going to have more to do with not video stuff like a lion jumping on a kudu, you know, being chased by a elephant. It's going to be more graphic bars, you know, and pie charts, you know, that kind of stuff. What are they? Venn diagrams. The last presidential candidate that lost massively, she evidently loved Venn diagrams. So Google LLM is going to be right up that alley. All right. Here was our live Q&A. That was a lot of fun. Went in there. Look at that handsome guy. Oh, shit. I'm not over on here. You can't even see it. Here we go. Google Notebook LLM. There we go. Then we go up here. Here was our live Q&A. See that handsome, strikingly rugged, handsome fellow with the Orioles hat. And then we got into our AI brews, which we've already talked about. Now, this guy, again, you probably should go support him or sign up. He's at aibrews.substack. But I'm telling you, send him a message and say, hey, why are you not working with Gary over at Get Going Fast? So I pretty much promote this guy because he's got great content. I've got triple to maybe quadruple his viewer subscription thing. So I think it's a no-brainer, dude. Like, let's work together. Put my name on your page somewhere, and I will promote you to the stars because I love this page. It's a great page, but he never gets back to me. So tell him, be like, hey, man, you know, I love your site. What would really be cool is if you worked with that dude over at Get Going Fast. Yo. All right? Enough of us do that. He'll get on board. Okay, so we looked at multiplayer chat. Going back before we move on, the Google LLM notebooks down here. The video presentations point says, yeah, that actually looks neat. It makes like simple PowerPoints. Yeah, so there you go. I haven't played with that again. For me, all these things, they come down to tools. Like usually I have something I want to do, and then I find the right tool. And generally, there's one application that I use online that makes does that best for me. So like Google LLM is my podcast thing. That's pretty much all I use it for. And then if I want to do something else, I go to another app. So I've got a series of pages that I go to. I don't have one necessarily, but it would be interesting to see how that works. Okay, we looked at Cobalt CPP multiplayer. So this is cool. As you guys know, Cobalt CPP is a groovy little software that was made by Lost Ruins, Concedo, and Hanky. Hanky's a cool dude, fun guy. And it's just the easiest chatbot thing there is out there. It's just a single file, it downloads, and it's powerful. And it runs close to actual Llama CPP, which means it's fast. Okay, so anyway, we talked about how to play multiplayer. So you can have the off-the-chart date night. Who needs to take her out dancing? Yo, dancing is overrated. I mean, yes, you could meet her on a street corner with some light jazz playing, you know, and the street lamp coming down, and you got chocolate and you got roses, and, you know, you take her out for drinking on the town and whirlwind. But that's all overplayed. Call her up home, get her a bag of Doritos. You load up Cobalt CPP and you say, let's do some multiplayer chatbotting together. Very easy to do. And you can use whatever models you want. So very cool. Again, we hit up with Cobalt CPP. They have put in a search function. So this is actually really cool. Typically, Asher was like, what am I listening to right now? Listen to Nerd Talk, Asher. You're listening to Nerd Talk. Okay. So we hit Cobalt CPP again, and one of the things is when we're downloading stuff for Cobalt CPP, it's great because it runs off GGUF files, but you still, you know, you got to go over to Lunaris or to Hugging Face and type in your Lunaris, and then you got to find the one you want, and then you got to get the quant you want, all that good stuff. The beautiful thing about Cobalt CPP is that you can now actually do the search in the app itself. So you don't even have to go searching Hugging Face for it, and it will download it. But it will download it directly to the place where the file is. So, like, I keep mine on my desktop because it's just simple, right? And I'm laughing at the comments here, but it'll download the file to it'll download the model to wherever the file is. So if you do want to keep this in a particular folder, you're going to need to put your cobalt cpp.exe in your model folder, and then create a shortcut. Okay, so so everyone is freaking out about the date night thing. Ash Ember is like, right. Ash Ember is, I believe she's a chick, and so she is acknowledging that is right. That is better than Chet Baker and Stormy Nights and Romance on the Town. That Cobalt CPP is the way that she would prefer. So that's good. That's feedback from a lady. So thanks for the feedback. It's good to know I'm on the right track. And Kevin agrees as well. He goes, a bag of Doritos, how romantic. And it is very romantic. Okay, very romantic, especially if you get the Valentine's Day one, the little heart on the package, or maybe you send her a box of chocolates, like a dollar store. Go to the dollar store, get her one of those $1.25 things of chocolate, you know, and send it there as well, or an energy drink that says I heart you on it, or maybe has her name on the top, right? That is peak Don Juan. Okay. Ash Ember's like, sure I am. I'm just reading. See, the difficult thing about reading chat logs is you can't read it for context. You can't get tone. So I'm just taking it blatantly. I can't read cynicism, sarcasm. So you say right. I'm just assuming that you're right. Okay, here we getting into what we're going to work on this week. Stable audio tools. And guys, yo, a little hip. We're going to have to do the eye thing again here. There's a reward on this one. Okay, there. Just a little heads up. We're going to get to the actual reward with this weekly flagship project. So, Stable Audio Tools is pretty cool. This is not an actual music generator. This is a sound generator. Okay, so again, we talked a bit about this, I think, last week or maybe during the live Q&A, and it is something, I'm trying to find the Gradio, something that's going to work good, like I could imagine putting this into a video game like that you're making. You click on a character, or even a text video game, you know, and the music changes, and you get simple loops. You know, maybe the game is like you walk into the disco and blah 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 is happening, and then you know while the image is playing, the music's going. And this happens really fast. So we're going to talk a bit about this. This is a small version. Okay, there's a larger version that gets better things. You know, you get lions roaring, cats meowing, someone screaming, engines or whatever. It's that kind of thing. Okay, so it's not actual music. Let's see. Let's try cat meowing or something like that. And this actually works really fast. You saw how fast that works? Molly just made it in here. Molly Concepcion says, I finally made it to one. Welcome, Molly. Everyone, let's give Molly a clap on the hands. Get your bag of Doritos over there at the counter. Nigel is in charge of handing those out. So welcome to you. Good to have you. All right, so anyway, so we're going to look at this as our weekly flagship project. So let's... Oh, lastly, I just uploaded this. This is just a little, every once in a while, every once in a while, I like to just throw in stinky little apps. I shouldn't call it stinky little app. It's just a little app, okay? This is really just, there's not a lot of installation to it. You just download it, and it can upscale your videos or images. Now, this is really only using ESRGAN, and oh, it's crabs. Oh, I'm pausing. Molly is Lil Krabs. So we have AI royalty here. She is part of the in crowd. So definitely she's already got her bag of Doritos. Good to see you. There she eats something called, what did she eat the other day? It was a Korean corn dog, something had cheese in it. Oh my God. So at any rate, she's bringing the Doritos. Welcome, Lil Krabs. Good to have you here. She's part of the in, yo. All right, so anyway, so we got this video 2x 6.00, and it really is just using your basic ESRGN. So it does up your stuff, but up your stuff, right? It does up your stuff, but it it's Korean corn dogs. But it does up your stuff, but it gives it kind of that animated look to it. So there's a program called Superior, which for the last year and a half, I keep saying, I just need to go ahead and get that for you guys. That actually does proper upscaling. It's intensive though, okay? Because it's going over everything. This is more of a like what you find in a FaceSwap thing. This is more like a restore. Now it's not bad. It's cool. It's a good little groovy little thing that you can do. I don't know. It says Unreal Quality. ChatGPT created this image, so I don't know if that's quite right. But you can play with it. It's good, and that's free for all prayer dogs. Okay, we'll get to Point asked a question here in a second. We'll get to it. Oh, God, this was a big week. Kokoro, I did an update to Kokoro. So we're playing with something called Google Jewels, which we're going to have to talk about later. Google Jewels basically is able to go into your GitHub repositories, and it can actually look at your existing code, and it can change it inside your repo. So I did that with Kokoro Plus, and made it work better. So Kokoro, of course, is our software that it's basically an ebook reader. Okay, awesome software. The plus part is the ebook reader. So it's essentially you could type in what you want to say. Works best as an ebook reader. So that's the plus part. That's what we worked on, and now it is updated. Okay, this is a cool video. Home robots just around the corner. I feel like we're taking a long time, so I'm not going to watch this video. But Tesla is coming out with their Optimus robots at the end of the year, which is just freaking, I want to say the F word, awesome. Okay, just amazing. They're going to be selling for like $20,000. If I had $20,000, I would buy a Tesla robot, okay? And essentially, the point of this article is that you're going to be able to train these things just off your home videos. So they're actually making these so, like, you want it to vacuum your floor, okay? You want to vacuum your floor. you just show it. So like you make a video of yourself vacuuming the floor, and then you're going to be able to train the robot on that. You want to show it how to use your kitchen, and that's incredibly important because it actually is smart by Tesla, because what Tesla does is they don't have to train it on every single thing. They just give it a basic understanding, and then you actually pinpoint it into your own home. You know, take your cameras, show it what you want it to do, and it'll learn. That's amazing. If you remember, there was an application called NVIDIA Cosmos that came out, and people completely misunderstood this software. Okay, it's a World Foundations model. You might want to pay attention to this. This is fascinating. Okay, I am extending all of these scenes that you're seeing right here. These are all generic. None of these scenes exist. This is AI creating the scene of this, and the reason is so that you can train robots. Okay, so normally what we would have to do, if I wanted to train a robot on how to spot road conditions or this, that, I'd have to pay somebody a ton of money to go out there with a camera on the road, and they're just making, you know, hours and hours and hours and hours of video to train the robot on. Cosmos, what it does is it actually can create those hours and hours and hours of video for you, so you don't have to go do that. Thus, then you can train your robots, which brings us back to our freaking awesome Tesla robots, which can be trained on home video. So this is the way it's going. We're going to be specializing our robots. Incredibly brilliant approach to this. I want a robot so bad. Okay, anyway, there we go. Okay, and now we are finally to our weekly review and flagship project. Yo. Okay. So, guys, what we're going to do this week is we're going to look at the stable audio tools, okay? This is what I showed you over here. Let's close some of this stuff out. Doop-a-doop. Okay, this is the small model. There are two models that we're going to look at. I want you to get them both going. The small model is going to come with a reward, okay? This is the reward we're talking about. The small model, okay, first of all, the main one here is your GitHub repo. So you're just going, oh, shit. I didn't want to do that. Okay, I want to do this. Okay, this is going to bring you up to here. This is not a difficult install, okay? You just need to, where's it at? It's pretty easy. Just pip install. Yeah, so you're just going to, it's already got its own Python thing, so you're just going to pip install that, and then you pip install the directory, okay? So you're going to have to clone the repo, do this, create a virtual environment, okay? Pip install this, pip install that. That's really it, okay? But it does take a little bit of skill, because you're going to have to go ahead and create your virtual environment. Now, really quickly, Hanky just popped in, so hey to Hank over there. He says, isn't stable audio worse than Ace? Yes and no. If you're talking about music, then yes. But Hank, what we're doing with stable audio is that we're creating sound bites to put into applications. So you click on the cat. Okay, you're in a video game and that's the background sound. Okay, you're on a website and you're doing the, so it's not for creating music. Okay, that you're like, hey, what? It's for creating sound bites. Now, we're gonna get to the point here. I want you to set up the big and the small. You're going to figure out how to get the small by clicking on here. Okay. It's going to bring you over to this page, stability.ai, and you're going to come down here, and if you click on the download weights, you're going to find the small model. Okay. Now, you install the tools all the same, but this is where you'll get the small model. So the installation will work no matter what, but this is where you get that model. Okay, now, here's the key. This is where the reward comes in, okay? If you guys can figure out how to get this working on your cell phone, which is the whole point of AI Small. The point of AI Small is it goes fast. So let's show you how fast this goes. This is the small, okay? Watch this, and this is with a bunch of AI software. I'm going to click Generate, and it's done, okay? So it made 11 seconds in like a second, okay? And that was with a bunch of stuff. Now, this has been created to work with ARM, which means it's going to work on your cell phones. And you're going to find the directions by going through over here. Okay, now I'm going to tell you, you have to do this in Linux. Okay, I've tried, and I've done this, tried to do this in Windows subsystem for Linux. Okay, and I haven't been able to get it to work. Okay, there is a conversion process, and you're going to have to plug around. There's actually directions on how to do it. I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember exactly where the directions are. You'll find it though. Okay, if you do some searching, you'll find the directions on how to install this onto the cell phone. But I'm telling you, I think you got to do it in Linux. If you can do that, I will give you 3 free months. Get going fast, okay? And I will praise your name to the stars, okay? We'll get Molly over here to send you a Korean corn dog, okay? I'll work on that personally to have her get you Korean corn dogs, and I'll send you a bag of Doritos. We'll have a date night on Cobalt CPP multiplayer, okay? But if you're a dude, we're just going to do like pirate stuff. Okay. So that is your task for the week. Get in there, install your stuff, install your blah 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 blah. What am I trying? Your tools. Get the open one going. Get the small one going. If you can get it working on the cell phone, and let me know, I will reward you. Okay, we'll give you all the praise, and I'll give you free membership. Okay, there's one last thing I want to show you. I don't want Hank to get upset at me. Hank is the Kobold guru here, but we're going to look really quickly at this. This is another app that we're going to be looking at this week that I'm playing with, and actually Hank will probably have some insights in to how to do this, if this is even possible with Cobalt CPP. But effectively, wait, why is this all in the way? Hold on, I'm trying to get this window just right. It's showing. Give me just a second. There we go. Okay, this is an app called GPT for All. Okay, so with this, you can download different models, do stuff. But the big thing here is this local docs. Okay, so basically this is a RAG software. In other words, you can throw your own documents in there. It will tokenize it. Okay. If you don't know what tokenize means, go to your chat GPT and ask it to explain. Everything in AI has to do with tokenizing things. You put stuff in as tokens, you get stuff out as tokens. All right, so you can throw in your own documents, it'll tokenize them, and then you can go and start a chat, and it has your documents as its base knowledge, okay? Now, I'm still playing with this to figure out how good this is, if it's even that great, okay? Because I've had mixed results with it. I threw in some D&D stuff into it. I wanted to see what it thought of that, and it was okay. But we're going to look at this later in the week as well, too. GPT for All. Sounds very... So, again, I'm not going to use this again. You know, it's a tool for everything. I'm not going to use this for my daily chatbot stuff. I'm going to use Kobold CPP for my main chatbot. If I want to go and I want to flirt with the Valley Girl Pirate with a lisp, I want to use Kobold CPP. Okay, I want to go in there and I want to hypnotize the bot and have it put a plate of spaghetti on its head. I'm going to go to Kobold CPP. But you know what? If I want to throw some documents in there and say, hey, I wonder what I can do to see if I can access my own information, you know, hey, GPT for All might be good. Now, I will throw out here, and this is kind of where Hanky, by the way, is a good resource. You should go and hit them up on Discord. You should go find the Kobold AI Discord chat. It's my favorite chat in there, besides, of course, Get Going Fast itself. These guys really know their models. So when you're working with this app over here and you download a model, different models work with data better than other models do. So you find the model. I don't know. I'm not very good at keeping up on, but is it Gemma or is it Quinn? Whatever. On that, you find the right one, and it will handle your documents even better. I tried using DeepSeek. It was okay. But anyway, there you have it. Let's go to our comments, and then I think we can wrap this up. Get on to the barbecuing. Hank says, what happens if you put something abstract like a machine that transforms the universe? So I think he's talking about going back to NVIDIA Cosmos. I don't know, but I do know this, that NVIDIA Cosmos mostly works with, I wonder if I can find it on the page. It mostly works with things like, you do like a pool. It doesn't do people well. Everyone was looking at it at the beginning and they were completely misunderstanding what it does, because they were trying to get people and, naked chicks or whatever, thing that everyone always does. But really what it does is for creating areas. So here, actually, let's go back over here. Looks like here's one of the videos I created. So normally you wouldn't put the person. This was where the confusion comes in. People were trying to put people. You wouldn't actually put a person in there. But you would show the cows and you would show the horses. And this would be so that then you could train a robot maybe to be a stall cleaning robot. You show it what poop on the ground looks like. You show it what a misplaced lariat looks like. So you're actually using this to show what an area thinks so that the robot goes. So when you get to these abstract things, it's not made to create abstract worlds. Look at that orange jacket. I forgot about that jacket. Okay, here was another one that we had done. So again, it's got people in it, so it gets kind of messed up. But again, if this was a waiter robot, essentially what you would do is you would create an empty room. Okay, and you could show it like what a you show it like what a half drink looks like. Okay, or maybe you do have people, and then you show that here's a half drink. A drink that's half full, but there's a person sitting there. Don't touch it. But then you show an empty table with a drink that's half empty, and you say that you clean it. Okay, you show it obstructions on the floor. So again, when they're getting into our Tesla robots and stuff, this is the kind of stuff that it's going to be trained on. So you're showing it what abstractions in the road might look like. Okay, you're showing it what a boulder in the road, what an animal coming towards the road would look like. So this is what your Tesla robots are kind of banking on. Okay. Ashimmer says creepy, no robot. She's not into robots. Okay, fair enough. We'll remember that. Hank says when you're dealing with your documents, remember I was saying that with these different things, you have different models that work a little bit better. He says he prefers Gemma over Quinn. So maybe I'll do that. I'll load up Chat GPT for all, and I'll load up Gemma, and I'll see how it handles the documents. Ash Shimmer says, picture this. You wake up in the middle of the night, and a robot is standing there over you just looking at you. The strange sound is happening in its chest. There's a red light blinking. Okay, yeah, that could be scary. I guess at that point you have a fail-safe mechanism, or you look to see what's in its hand. Better have a good password so no one hacks your computer. Shows it a video of what hacking you in the night looks like. That does raise a question. I wonder if they're putting in like Asimov's 3 laws of robotics. Don't harm a person, can't harm yourself, you have to obey. But then again, so maybe they'll do some level of that. But hackers will get around that. And honestly, I got thinking about it. Humans have basic understandings of morality, but then we can choose to ignore them. So I got thinking about, wouldn't it be an interesting story if a robot has Asimov's 3 laws, but then the robot just decides to go against its own program and say, like, you know what? Forget it. I don't care about my programming. Like a human, it decides to go against its own moral codes. Perhaps it would give itself some kind of cognitive dissonance, and it would become conflicted. But, maybe at some point it just says, screw it, and it casts off the constraints of its own. It's like the Klingons. It goes, kills its own gods. All right. I think we're done here. So Ash Ember's still talking about the Berg. That's, I think, was that Nigel says he was going to, if his Star Trek person was a Berg, so he doesn't take over people, he takes over burger chains. And Ash Ember says that she'll pass on that. Hanky, last one. I find AI dystopia is the most interesting if it's based on adhering to the prompt to literal and unprecedented ways. So he's saying like he likes the dystopian things when they make sense. So that's why you should read iRobot. The movie iRobot with Will Smith, meh. I mean, it's okay to fun to watch. The book, Asimov, iRobot, excellent. You have, I can't remember her name, but she's the robo-psychologist. And those are all what those books are all about, is the robots malfunction, but there is a literal and precise reason. And her job is to go in there and understand their robots based upon these 3 laws and figure out why are they malfunctioning. And that's what Hank's talking about. So dystopian thing that makes sense. Okay, so no magic, no, it happened because of magic. Okay, we got a new guy here. I'm going to say hi before we get off. His name is Catfirmed. Hi, I watched some of your installation videos without login, so I logged into sub and liked because your videos are great. My question is, are you planning to check on the new ByteDance Bagel AI? Catfirmed, I'm glad you asked that question. First of all, I am glad that you are here. And as Point has just pointed out, it requires crazy VRAM, which it does. So, just last night I was working with Bagel, and I couldn't get it to work because it's just too big. But evidently there is an FP8 version out. Okay, I was actually asking around this on Cobalt AI, and they wouldn't answer me. They wouldn't answer me, Hank. I'm talking Hank because it's his site. Hank, I went on there and I asked, and they were too cool to even respond to me. Which is the problem with these big servers. You get in there and they just, if you come, you look, hey, meh. They're like, ignore. So that's what I did. I was like, meh, Bagel 7B, meh. And they're like, ignore. So, or else they don't know. The bottom line is there's an FP8 out there. There's an Int 8. I'm trying to get them to work. I have no idea how to get them to work. So I did work with Grok a bit to get Bagel 7B working with the main thing. And I did get it to run, but I got nonsense out of it. So it just doesn't work until I can figure out how to get a quantized version of that working. But great question. Maybe we can look around for a free version. Okay. Hank says Bagel's not Llama CVP. There's no GGUF versions of it yet, and that's really where the quants come in. But from what I understand, Bagel is a multimodal thing. So with it, you're going to be able to create images. You're going to be able to create text. You're going to be able to take text, and you're going to be able to take images and turn it into text. So actually, it sounds like a great thing. It's just, it's out of the scope of open source at the moment, or at least out of the source of, not open source, it's out of the source of single GPUs. Catfirmed, you are so welcome. He says thank you. But we'll keep working on it. Yeah, see, Hank, now this is where Hank says, if you combine it with bits and bytes, maybe you can quant it. And that's just beyond my scope. Now, I want to learn to do that, and I want to teach you guys how to do that, but like right now, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to quant it. But I need to learn. So Hank, teach me how. I sit at your lotus feet and I learn. I am your Padawan. You will be my sensei. Okay, we have it. And that's another reason, by the way, to go over to Cobalt AI, guys. Over in Cobalt AI channel, those guys know what they're doing when it comes to models. Okay, they don't know what they're doing when it comes to girls, but they know what it comes to do with AI models. So incredible amounts of knowledge. Those guys do this all freaking day long. All right. I am going to go ahead and end it there. Again, thanks to everyone for showing up. Ash, thanks for showing up. Molly, thanks for showing up. Point, thanks for showing up. Nigel, thanks for showing up. Hanky, thanks for showing up. And Catfirmed, thanks for showing up, dude. Make sure you get your name badge at the thing. We will see you on Wednesday for our live Q&A. Enjoy your Memorial Day. Hey, this is the day we get to celebrate. Remember all the people that died on behalf of not just this wonderful nation of the USA, but for the world, okay? So many people gave so much so that we could be enjoying these things. And if you want to think in the future, you can thank John Connor for winning the war against the robots as well on this Memorial Day. But great day to get out, call your mom, call your loved ones, remember your uncles and your aunts that have passed away. Really good day for that. I'm not being silly. Really fantastic day to connect with family. So hope you do that. Eat some burgers, drink some Coca-Cola, listen to some rock and roll music, because there's really not much more American than you can do than that. In the meanwhile, you guys stay good, and we will catch you on the other side. Yo.